Hey, it's Courtney and Allison for Making Time for Your Health, the Fruit and Vegetables series. We're going to be focusing on potatoes today.
Yeah, so potatoes, it might seem odd that we're talking about potatoes right now, about planting potatoes, because late winter is the big time of year. That's when you usually plant potatoes, but you can plant Irish potatoes in the fall, late summer for a fall crop too. So you can plant potatoes in the late summer. Just realize that you're not likely to be successful with growing big, giant baking potatoes. So, you know, leave those to Idaho. There are parts of Texas that do successfully grow large baking potatoes also, but just not as likely for the Concho Valley, just not the right soil and climate. But we can grow delicious potatoes. We can grow good small potatoes. So we can grow red potatoes and gold. So Yukon Gold, red Lesotho, those are just some of the variety options you can do. They're really tasty and good potatoes. So normally I would say go to a feed store or a nursery or garden center and buy seed potatoes, not from the grocery store. So in the late winter, that's much easier to find. You can purchase seed potatoes, but in the late summer, you're not likely to find them as easily. So you can get some from the grocery store. So I just purchased some red potatoes and some gold potatoes from the local grocery store, and you can use those for starting your new plant. So when you're growing potatoes, you actually plant a piece of the potato. You don't buy a pack of seeds. And so when they're small like this, you can just plant the whole potato. You want it to be at least the size of a medium egg. You're not going to be successful with a little tiny piece. You want a good sized piece. If they're bigger like this one, you can cut them in half, let it sit on the counter for a few days, kind of harden off and dry out where you cut. And then plant, and if you're planting in the ground, they need really good drainage. So organic matter, build up a nice tall mound to plant your potato piece in so that it has good drainage. But I really like in a container. So you can grow potatoes in a nice big planter pot like this.
It's fun for the kids too.
It's a great project for kids, yeah, and I like doing it just even for myself, but it's really educational for kids.
It is.
So the thing about a container is you want to fill it as it grows. So, you know, if you've ever left a potato in the pantry too long, you'll see how it sprouts. That's how they grow. Everywhere there's an eye is a potential sprout of a new stem. So the potato plant will come, the stem will come out of the potato and it'll make a new root system and it'll have new potatoes attached, but it won't do that under. It doesn't go under, it goes up. So you want to start your seed piece really low in your container. So you just plant your seed pieces. You can do several in a pot like this, and then you add a little bit of soil on top. Just keep it real low in the bottom, and you know, water it. Make sure your container has drainage. It's got to be able to drain the extra water out. But just add a little thin layer of potting mix, your seed piece, just cover it a little bit. And then when it sprouts, it'll start to send up some stems. Then you just add more potting mix. As it grows, add more until you get up to the top. Now don't fill it overflowing with potting mix. You want to leave a lip so that you can hold water a little bit until it soaks in. But then you end up with a seed piece down at the bottom of this nice deep container and the stem coming out the top. You have a nice big plant. And at the end of the season, the fun part at the end of the season is just dumping your container out over some newspapers or a tarp, and you just pick out all the potatoes. And so it's a really fun, easy way to grow potatoes. They're just delicious. I love red potatoes and gold potatoes. So even though we can't grow the big giant potatoes, it's still worth doing.
It really is. And so, you know, they can be good for you. You know, there is
potatoes. You know, they have kind of a bad rap.
They do.
Can they be good for you?
Sometimes they do have a bad rap. It's from what we put on them. You know, we do put a lot of butter and just a lot of different fats on there. So if we just maybe if you've got any like herbs in your garden, go ahead. Put some fresh herbs on there, or even dried herbs, but try some different herbs on there, and so you know you make it healthier. So that's your healthier option. But you know, we had a 4-H'er that did this type of demonstration, and actually came and talked to some kids, you know, for our Learn, Grow, Eat, Grow, Go program at the elementary, and did some really great leadership type of things. But was so into, you know, planting
he was good at growing potatoes, and he presented really well, teaching how to do it.
He did a great job. It's fun. It's fun for him. It's fun for the kids too. So, but anyways, yeah, potatoes can be really good for you. They do provide like B6, potassium, that fiber, but even vitamin C. So it can be good for you. Just don't add all them added fats. Try some different herbs, you know. Whenever you're storing your potatoes, make sure it's in a cool, dark place. Don't put them in the refrigerator, because that starch starts to turn to sugar, and they're going to be sweet, and it's not good for them. They can last up to a month if they're stored properly. So, but you can add them to all kinds of different dishes. You know, you can put them on the grill. You can put them in the microwave. You can boil them, put them in stews, put them in casseroles. So many different ways to utilize your potatoes.
Herb roasted, super easy. It's one of my favorites.
Oh, that sounds so good.
Sprinkle them with herbs, pop them in the oven.
Yes, it's really good for you. So, all right. Well, we'll see you back for Making Time for Your Health next time with a different fruit or vegetable. Thank you.